And first of all, I'd like to thank all of you people from DES for traveling here, taking the time from your busy schedules. I know you have dozens, hundreds of meetings, so I know that this is a coming out of your personal life to come here. I thank you for that. My point I'd like to say tonight is about a often misused word in the English language. The word is empathy. It's often confused with sympathy. Sympathy is to feel bad for someone. The historic origin of the word empathy is to understand with passion. And that's what I'm asking of you, the members of DES, in your decision. And Mike over there looking at me with a disgusting look on your face. That's what I'm talking about. You people come up here with the intent to listen to us, but yet your body language, you have looks of humor and disgust on your face, pointing stares into the sky. Mr. Winsett, when he talks, walks behind Casella. What is that body language saying? He's subservient to them. What I am saying to you people is empathy. Have equal passion for our position as you do their position. Show healthy skepticism for their engineers, their financial consultants. Do your diligence. Don't just take the documents they hand you from the commercial companies that market the fabric and believe that. What do the people in New Orleans think about the design specs of those dikes? Empathy, equal passion for both sides. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Seth Goldstein. Yeah, thank you. Hi, my name is Seth Goldstein. I'm a resident of Bethlehem. I moved here and felt it necessary to become very well versed in the issues so that, because there's a lot of complicated issues here, and it's difficult for the general public to come here and cite everything perfectly. I think that, there have been cases that NCES didn't cite things perfectly, and there's been cases where the town hasn't cited things perfectly, and that might have even happened tonight. But I think that the point of it is that we're all trying to bring relevant things to the table. Can I ask Bob, can you go to the shot that you showed of the 40-foot berm at Turnkey? Okay, and I think I can quote you. You said that this is most people would perceive as a natural slope. I'd like to disagree with you. I'd say this is anything but a natural slope. Mike Guilfoy, after you said that, said it was a near vertical slope, and I would tend to agree with him. I guess I have notes going all over the place, and I've already gone off them, so let me backtrack a little bit and just say, first of all, I apologize for approaching George and trying to set the record straight at the time. I should have waited, and I apologize for interrupting him. I just wanted to clarify that the reference that Kevin Roy made was to some documents that I read verbatim that was evidence presented by the state. I didn't make any of the statements myself. I just read them from the state, and they said that Mr. Roy admitted he couldn't identify asbestos. So I don't think it should be taken off the record. It's in the state's documents. Also, I'd like to say that, I come here before DES, and we really need the empathy that Don described, and I think that's really key and important. But we're upset, and it's hard to convey both a clear message to you and be really angry with you at the same time. We want to get across a level of respect for you, but so that you can listen to us and believe in what we're saying. But it's very difficult to do when we've been getting the short end of the stick for 3 decades. And I think you guys, as part of that empathy that Don's looking for, need to understand we've been getting the short end of the stick. This started off as a 14-acre project that went to larger, 18, then it went larger still. And now, just like that gentleman came in from out of town, I don't know his name, but even right from a cursory overview, he sees the absurdity of this idea that you're taking an area outside of 51 acres, flopping it over like a pancake, like you described, and using it as if it all makes sense. It doesn't make sense, even to a person, a lay person who just sees it for the first time. It's outrageous. And to hear the logic and the rules represented by your department and presented to us in such a sensible, logical manner, when everything is being twisted in order to possibly allow this to happen, is very disturbing to us, and it brings out the reaction that you saw in some of us in dead pain, and it brings out my frustration. I'm equally upset as she is. I'm so completely frustrated. I lose sleep about it at night. It is completely an injustice to see the rules and regulations of this state turned around backwards to justify a corporation making profit and a town suffering. I want to point out that, Flo indicated the disposition, I'm sorry, she left. Flo, who spoke earlier, indicated the disposition of the town is different than here in this group. And I'd say that is completely inaccurate. The only vote that was taken about whether the town is for or against the landfill in any significant, fair manner was back in 06, and it was a 2-to-1 vote not to accept an expansion proposal or money. More recently, there was another vote, but it's completely ambiguous and you're not able to discern whether there was a vote for expansion or not. And any attempt to do so is completely misleading. The last vote, the largest vote of this town, close to 900 people, voted about expansion and accepting a deal from Casella, and it was defeated 2-to-1. That is the vote that matters. If you could look at the sheet of paper, the pink one that I provided, on the one side is a map. And it is very similar to the one that Bob Grillo presented in different forms. Except I have a couple added details. Like, for instance, on the top left corner, you'll see the one that says leachate pipes outside the 51. My understanding, and I'm not an engineer, but my understanding is those leachate pipes are already outside the 51. And that they're integral to the design of the future plants as well. They should be there. When people in town have their septic field too close to their house and they violate that rule, they have to move it. When the town's highway department finds that they have debris that shouldn't be there behind the building, they have to move it. DES is extremely stringent about the rules when it comes to the public. And they seem to be very lax about how rules are enforced when it comes to this landfill. Almost always favoring the landfill. When I asked Mike during the recent HB 1429 hearing about the leachate pipe, Mr. Guilfoy, again, I'm not trying to shoot you down. I want to work with you in the future and in cooperation. But it was very upsetting when I asked you about the leachate pipe being outside the 51 acres. And you basically shrugged your shoulders up and you said, well, it's already there. Well, it shouldn't have been let to be there, number one. It shouldn't be allowed to stay there, number two. And it should be allowed to be used for this plan because it's outside the 51 acres. It's an integral component of the landfill. And it is clearly in violation of the Supreme Court ruling saying that landfill is restricted to 51 acres. That's my freedom.